Hello, my name is Florence King. I'm a speech and language therapist and the lead author of FLAC, Functional Language Across Countries. The FLAC language assessment tool takes an interactional and lexical approach to examining emerging language. It was originally created to support speech and language therapists in examining the emerging language of bilingual children, but it's equally applicable to English. Much of the format of FLAC will be familiar to speech and language therapists, but I would like to take a couple of minutes of your time to share with you some of the unique features of FLAC. So for example, if we look at the Mandarin record form on page 7, you will see that the stimulus that the interpreter has to present to the child is written word for word. And Mandarin is obviously not a language that uses the Roman alphabet, but there is Pinyin, which is the romanization of Mandarin, and so that's what we've used in FLAC. And you will see that the words that the interpreter has to present to the child are written there. They don't have to be created by the interpreter each time. You'll also see, for example, if you look at N11, clothing, that in Mandarin the name of the item comes first, and then the question, where is the, comes afterwards. So that helps you to see that in Mandarin, when a question like where is the coat is asked, the word order is different from English, which is useful for you to know because children who are using both Mandarin and English may well confuse the word order just as part of being bilingual, not as part of being a language impaired child. You will also see, for example, if you look on the Spanish record forms on page 24, that we have put FLAC together sympathetically to languages that are not English. So for example, speech and language therapists will often contrast children's understanding of in and on. So we might say, show me the boy who's in the car, show me the boy who's on the car. And you will see when you look at the location receptive language assessment in Spanish, there isn't actually a difference in the content of a question to a child which asks them to show you a boy in a car or a boy on a car. So we have split that contrast across two different activities so that we still get a contrast with other position words. And finally, if we look at the Polish record form on, say, page 13, you will see that not only have we written the questions for the child in Polish, but we have given an expected answer so that the speech and language therapist can determine whether the child's response is accurate or not. And we've done that right throughout FLAC, where there are up to 2 to 3 word responses expected. And we've written it in IPA script so that at the same time as assessing the expressive language, you can also listen to the phonology and decide whether the phonology is what it was expected to be, whether the word that the child says is what you expected to hear. And if you don't, you can then say to the parent, I was expecting to hear, and say back to them what you have been expected to hear from the assessment, and see if they can explain to you why what the child said was different. It may be that the child is using a word that they use at home that's different from the one you expect, or it may be that there's a pronunciation difference. So thank you for your time. I hope that you enjoy using FLAC, and if you have any questions or comments, do get in touch with us at Black Sheep Press.